How does it feel that Poderoza has been 10 years since the making?
It's kind of unbelievable. Just, whenever you start something as a founder, co-founder, you just have ideas, but then, you don't know how the community is going to receive it. But then to be at 10 years, it's overwhelming in a positive way. You get emotional and you get excited, and you're grateful that after 10 years, people keep showing up every time, each time more people. And people believe in the brand, and they believe in the message, they believe in the platform and the movement. And it's just, I'm so grateful that it's a name that is respected and trusted in the community.
What inspired me to write my book? I believe that, the inspiration came as I, did teaching, and I've always been a writer. But one of the things about, life as it happens, I started connecting some things in my life and things that were important to me. One was teaching children, and the other was the language of Criollo. And so I kept running into kids that were immigrants, or they were born here in America that didn't speak Criollo, or the kids that came and would lose Criollo. And so this one particular kid kind of stuck to me. His name was Tiago, and he learned English within 4 months and was no longer really speaking Criollo. And so I kept saying, you can't forget our language, can't forget our language. So we would speak Criollo every day. And it even inspired some of the other kids to say, oh, Mr. Tavares, I don't speak Criollo, can you teach us? And we had a Wednesday Criollo group during lunch, and I would teach them Criollo. So that kid stayed with me, and then I put it together with like how I grew up and how important my family felt that the language was. So put that together in my story, and being that I write, I figured let me write it and tell it, and then we translated it since it was about language.
Meu nome é Melanie Vieira, eu moro na Pawtucket. A minha é fundadora de Cresceu, marca Cresceu. Tem uma loja também, festival em terra em Cresceu. E onde que as pessoas, ou seja, tem cheio pessoas na nossa comunidade que tem inspirando, mas tá falando onde que inspira mesmo zero, ainda fala zero de Pina, que é uma pessoa de grande coração. Também está falando Juju, de deputadas milionária, que te chama minha filha, desde que me marca. Ainda considera ela uma grande inspiração para mim, uma mulher inspiradora. Tem tem muito mais. Ainda está conseguindo falar tudo não, amigo, assim, mas está falando a comunidade em si está inspirando.
Being back here with Terza is amazing. We used to run around these walls advocating for women of color. We developed the first, I think they call it 2B1, but it was the multicultural club back in the day. And so to see that vision, those seeds that were planted back then turn into PODEROZA is an amazing, amazing feeling. This is a full circle moment for Terza and I. I am so blessed that I was born into a family that valued learning from elders. We were taught to learn at the feet of our elders, and they were people that told amazing stories. My grandmother, Ruth Ellerby, lived in DC, and she was a part of the Peace Corps and developed that program in her young age. And as she continued, she was a nurturer of her community. She ran all the daycares in DC, was that oversight administrator for that. But her home was also a daycare, and her home was community for the people that lived around her. So much so that when she got older, she wouldn't let us take her from that community because she had everything that she needed. My grandmother, Yvonne Cabral, ran the community center in East Providence. And so it has been instilled in me to take care of community and build the tools that they need to meet them where they're at. And so I used to go there all the time and make sure that the food banks and the clothing banks were operational and that the programs were running. And she was so proud because she had started those programs during times where other men in society wanted her to remain in the house and remain rearing children. My mother gave me the gift of humility. She gave me the gift of faith. She gave me the gift of patience and silence and being able to be a quiet leader. And I so appreciate that because it has allowed me to show up uniquely and authentically who I am, without having to feel like I'm competing with anybody. I am who I am, and I love that about myself, and I credit that to her.
I was raised, I'm a first generation born in the United States from parents who both migrated from the island of Saint Vicente. My parents were always very tied to their culture. I know that there are Cape Verdeans who come here sometimes and they want to assimilate. My parents did not want to assimilate. And so we were raised in a household where Creole was our first language. We spoke Creole only at home. I want to laugh because we were dragged to only Cape Verdean parties and Cape Verdean events. And I didn't know anybody who wasn't Cape Verdean unless they went to school with me. And so I had my friends who went to school with me, and then, you know, being from a very traditional Cape Verdean family, I couldn't sleep over, I couldn't go to anybody's house. All of my cousins were my friends on the weekends. My dad was originally from Haberabot in Saint Vicente, and he always, from when I can remember, he always gave back to where he was from. We would send tambores all the time. He would sponsor like soccer teams there. He would send money for his nieces and nephew to go to school, and he always helped. And so and then he helped here. So from time to time, we would have different relatives come and live with us because they had migrated to the United States, and they would help. I remember people would have house fires, and my parents would help. And so I've always been raised in a community where everyone helped each other. You know, you have your village of your people. So I grew up in a small neighborhood where there were Cape Verdeans on just I think it was 7 or 8 houses with only Cape Verdean people who lived in them. And so if I was ever locked out after school, I could go to somebody else's house and I could stay there until my mother came home from work. And if I got in trouble, somebody else saw me, they would always tell my mother that they saw me doing something that I wasn't supposed to do. So I think I just grew up in a Cape Verdean community, and just being part of that, I've just continued to spread that love. I have a daughter who I always said to myself, I wanted her to know Cape Verde. I wanted her to know her culture. I wanted her to speak the language. And so I've tried to instill that in her as well.
Tudo mulheres cabo-verdianas te inspiram profundamente. Nunca pode destacar único e exclusiva mulher. Tudo mulheres na Cabo Verde pelo fato de você viver suas vidas com tantos desafios, mas com força na funda de hoje. Te cresce esse filho, também para esse trabalho. Cada vez mulher se posicionada em lugares que há algum tempinho atrás nunca te sonhava, mas não te tinha nós mulheres lá. E que ela é uma questão de orgulho, é uma questão de inspiração, te acredita para mim e para tantos e tantos outros daras e daros também, para uma que tem inspiração nós que é a própria mulher, mas também rapazes, não te acredita.
Honestly, I think the most important thing to learn from my journey is that it's not linear. So sometimes it's not going to make sense. It's not going to make sense to anybody outside of yourself, and sometimes it doesn't even make sense to yourself. Just do it. Listen to that voice, center yourself, align yourself with what you believe your purpose is. Pray, meditate, listen to God, and walk in your purpose, even when it doesn't make sense.
out and say that, yeah, I was fine until this moment. They kept on asking me, what, nervosa, ansiosa, and I'm like, no, I'm not nervous. I'm fine. I'm settled. I'm centered. It's 10 years of this good work. But then, my husband knows I don't like surprises, but I like good surprises. So thank you, team. Thank you, team. My goodness. So I don't want to. I'm behind the scenes. So it also belongs to all of us. I'm not going to talk too much, but I am going to thank the people that make this happen. This is PODEROZA, is all of us in this room, but PODEROZA, for it to get to this point, it was a team effort. This could not have happened without the institutional support of Providence College, my alma mater, Go Friars. Um, 10 years ago, actually, 10 years ago, I came to the Office of Institutional Diversity, and I asked them to help me make my vision come true, and they said yes. No questions asked. How do we make this work? How do we make it happen? And here we are, whole 10 years later. So I want to say thank you to the Institutional Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Office. I want to say thank you to the Providence College events team, Tara, Joseph, they're here. In addition to Perla right here, thank you so much. She is the go-to person, also Providence College grad. I want to thank the alumni office for this award, Catherine, Sarah, oh my goodness. The day that I received the call a few months ago, I was like, you're calling me about what? I didn't pick up the phone. I didn't recognize the number, so I had to wait for the voicemail. You all look there. You normally wait for the voicemail, right? Then I call back. So I want to thank Providence College. I want to thank, those are all the people I want to thank. Also, not only the Institutional Diversity Office, but you see here all of the officers at Providence College that also donated resources for you to have a good time today, for you to learn, for you to cupcaking with each other, the term that I like to use with my children, for us to be loving on each other, centering each other today. You see here my own departments where I was brought up academically, Black Studies and Political Science. They always support since the beginning. You see our community partners. I'm not going to read all the names to you, but it's important that I have their names in the room with us. We couldn't do this without all of their support, okay? Our volunteers that are in the room, I am going to say their name because I don't do this in a vacuum. We don't do this in a vacuum. I'm going to thank Fanny. I'm going to thank Nilda. I'm going to thank my sister, she is the operations manager. She's the person who's in charge today. I'm not. She makes sure, that's why she's not even in the room right now. She's making things happen. I want to thank my bestie, Providence College alum, class of 2001. And Dr. Cassandra, she's also over there outside. She makes it happen. She gives me advice. She's my personal and professional counselor. She gives me advice on PODEROZA. And also Leila Miranda, Manuel Nita, Pepina, Cristiano Martins. These are all the beautiful creoles you're going to see walking around making this event happen, okay? So, we have to big up each other and big up ourselves and brag on each other, as Fanny was saying. I'm going to give a big shout out to Ray Delpaza for doing the PODEROZA logo. Whenever you see the PODEROZA logo, it's Ray, y'all. Ray does photography, documenting for PODEROZA. All the other, Whitney, you're in the house. Whitney, where'd you come from again? Washington, D.C. She is here. This conference process gorgeous, and she's here working for all of us, making sure that we document this moment, okay? All of the moments, so thank you so much. Your photography needs, y'all, putting you on. Yeah, we have to support each other, okay? I want to thank one of my closest, dearest friends, my child's godfather, DJ Dallas is in the house. Flew in all the way from Florida, and then is flying back out. Why? Because he believes in the PODEROZA mission.
What does PODEROZA Conference mean to me? It's kind of a unity of all Cabo Verdean women, just to kind of be able to see each other's business plans and kind of what everyone has to offer. And it's like a community to meet new people and kind of see new family that you didn't know you had as well. And reuniting with a lot of people that you haven't seen in a while as well.
Hi, my name is Neilda Alves. I'm one of the planning team members. This is my second year with PODEROZA. And being in PODEROZA means that you are yourself, you're empowered, and free to be who you are.
Hi, my name is Ariana.
I am the Jay-Z.
And PODEROZA, like describing it in one word, I would say strength.
If I can describe it in one word, it's definitely empowering. Empowering. Everybody here has been uplifting each other, and we've been actually communicating and connecting and just like talking about different topics that we all can relate. So it's definitely been very empowering, and especially hearing different voices as well.
Yes.
Definitely.
Hi, my name is Angela Andrade, and what's been the highlight of my day is being here, being provided a space where Cabo Verdean women can openly celebrate each other, celebrate the hard work that we do, all of our community, community work, and also being able to share our stories, hear about other people's stories, seeing how we've come so far and some of the ways we have to go, but feeling empowered enough to celebrate each other unapologetically.
What has it been like being part of the PODEROZA conference today? Well, it has been inspirational. For me, one of the most impactful parts of the day was the panel discussion on masculinity. I am the mother of an 8-year-old black boy, and I am raising him to be anti-racist, feminist, and a global citizen. So hearing from the panel members and hearing their experiences and advice to caregivers like me around breaking the conditioning that we have learned via patriarchy and white supremacy culture, and raising a new set of youth, particularly boys, that respect women, value women, and understand the equity that they have with women was really, really important to me. So I am bringing all of that teaching, all of the tips and tricks back home, because really I'm feeling committed and I'm feeling supported. I came here feeling a little isolated about what does it really look like to raise a black boy in this new and more different way, and now I feel like that I actually have some tools and I'm able to do that.
Amikina si decise, l'om kata kemal, sukuru fichado kata sombram, nada ta param. Ciuba bate fort, yeah, rubero corre na ciò, ninguém stende mo, alma brissima gira solo, slumia dire som. Yeah, mo fino pode grave tentações, praga kata matami, já coach espinho, miranha tim, pedra na caminho, nunca ta quebram.
Pidi lampu sini na sukuru,
lua cochicha com minha flor. Hoje coisa la deriva, ela brilha pra guiar. Brisa própria, sou sucuda, horizonte sata de onda tita carregando, suca atrás e colevana. Lei na terra tá falha, mare que não respira, pensamento tá navegar. Sempre na sucuro, lua cochicha com minha flor. Chiganami, e luz que la banta.